Look, most marketers struggle to break even. This funnel is converting at 8.44% on straight cold traffic in its very first week. I use my internal AI system to generate over 100 marketing assets in less than 24 hours. You've never seen anything like this before. I can guarantee that. Normally, I sell the funnels that this system builds for 15 grand, but today I'm going to give you a glimpse on how it all works. You'll see exactly how the one-click AI sales funnels works, so you can grab some popcorn and let's go. All right, so this is my full walkthrough on how to create a one-click AI sales funnel generation. All the software, the tools, and all the structures and the files and the styles, everything that I use to literally just have AI do it all for me. This is a step up from just literally just using regular Claude Chat or Claude AI, where you have to just chat with it all the time and pretty much go back and forth between tabs and projects and different all your AI agents that you have in there to help you craft messaging and information and create the code for the funnels and possibly the email templates and all that, right? So we're gonna go a step further and use Claude Code here, which is their agentic AI, and it's very different than your regular Claude. You can go and get it here, claude.com/product/cloud-code. This one right here. It might look intimidating at first because it mostly lives in a terminal like this. You can also add it to like cursor to make it a little friendlier and look nice. But I typically just use it in here because I prefer it there. And I'm going to show you why it's literally easier to use than what you think. It works exactly the same as the actual regular one, just a little bit different. So why is it a lot better than using your regular Claude? So the main difference is that Claude AI is just a chat interface where it's a linear conversation, meaning that you input your first message. So let's say here, hi, and then it's going to give you a response, right? And then you can do the same thing back and forth every single time. Message from you, response. So it's very linear. It needs you in every step of the way. Then you have only a single context window or working memory, and it can get summarized, right, and truncated up to 200,000 tokens. So you basically have a limit in there. And then you have Claude Code, which is their agentic agent, meaning that they call it NO, the underlying agent that it uses, meaning that it can go through a loop for literally hours at times if you allow it to, where it can just, you give it a task and you give it all the specific information, it can literally just go and do it for hours. And if it needs, you can just ask you and tag you back. Otherwise, it can just keep going if you'd like, because it has a ton of tools that it could use to read your documents, write your documents, create documents, go online, go to the websites, connect to other software APIs that you have that I'm going to show you how I have it connected as well for that. He can execute, feed results, he can self-verify. So it's just like your own employee that does everything. And if you like, you can allow it to just work by itself, or it can ask you in different checkpoints, which is what I do to police it and get the best results. And then also he has the long-term memory storage, so he can summarize and store context so that it never forgets whenever it happens, whenever it's a specific critical point, it always has a big reference of what's happening. And this is the other crazy thing that it has. You can launch sub agents in parallel, meaning if you have a task and it needs multiple points, multiple tasks to be accomplished in parallel at the same time, you can literally hand it off to different agents and just launch 5, 10 different agents at the same time that work together, which is what we do to make it faster. I'm going to show you how. So this is why it wins. So you got the autonomous feedback loop, built-in context management, and it's pretty much very scalable with the sub agents. And what I do is I connected through TCP servers, which is literally just a bridge from one application to another, through our NAN, which is our automation software, HighLevel, which is the email templates live in there, and the images that we're going to use, and then the AI agents. So it kind of works the same way as a regular Claude. It has projects, and these are pretty much your agents. Well, in here, it has actual agents. They're called agents, and you can put the system prompt in there, the instructions, and you can call them whenever it needs and wants. You can always give the information as well when to call them, right? And so since Cloud Code lives in terminal where it can see your documents, we can give it a folder and then have it work only on that folder and have access to all the documents in that folder. So we create what's called a starting folder or starting template, which has a start prompt. I'm going to show you in a second what it is. That tells it how to use everything inside of the folder and gives it the whole scope of what it needs to do. And you literally just tell it, hey, use the start prompt and go at it. So it has everything and it knows exactly what to do on every single step, which is huge. And then you have context documents, which is literally everything it needs to understand the whole project and project scope. Email templates, execution protocols, we'll go in a second. This is pretty much what to do in each phase and how to do it. And then funnel pages, which are templates as well, or it looks kind of like this. You have all your context documents, design instructions that we give it, link databases with your images, your funnel URLs that you want to use, everything. Marketing foundation document, which is going to create naming conventions, offer document, the unified offer intake form, and a progress document so it always knows exactly where it's at. So all of these are literally just created in there, and all these context information are pretty much blank. The only one that has information from the get-go is the naming conversions and context. So it knows what all these are and do, pretty much. And then the other ones, we're going to use actual Claude Code to help us fill it out from a single intake form, which I'm going to show you how. And so why do we have, this is one of the things that people mess up, and I think they don't understand and nobody really talks about this, because we want to have on the emails, notice that I already have some templates in there. These are like fill in the blank templates. So I already knows and has a lot of context on what we're looking for, what we want. So it has a lot less possibilities of messing up. The same with the funnel templates. These are already pre-made fill in the blank templates. And there's a reason why we give it a specific template like this that already has fill in the blanks and it's already pre-created with the code that we already know it's well formed, because it has a lot less chance to mess it up because it can edit it instead of recreate a whole new page from zero. So it already has the working pages. It just needs to update them with the copy and the images and the information and change the style if it needs to. So it's a lot faster and it's also a lot better so it doesn't mess up as starting it from scratch. If you go in Claude and tell it, hey, create me a full new page, you're going to spend a lot more time fixing it and optimizing it versus you already give it all the main pages, all the side pages pre-made, and it can just edit them. Okay. And so that brings us to how do we prepare these documents to get the best results? So we basically just use a unified offer intake form, and this is either your offer or if you're a client, then you can fill it out with all this information, the business, story, offer, ideal customer transformation, proof, objections. You just fill it out with as much as you can. It doesn't have to be exactly this or fill out all the information. We try to give it as much as we can as far as the context and all these, so we can build the assets the best way possible and it can continue everything with it. Then the links database, so the essential image links, whatever images we have available, we give it to them, to Cloud. And the landing pages URL links, so you can add them to our HighLevel automatically through the API. And the images are very important because we literally just give it, I'm going to show you here the actual URLs. So in context documents, this is one of the one we're going to use. You see right here, link database, and it literally has all of the images that it's going to use. This where just upload it to HighLevel, and then you can just get the link from HighLevel of the image and just put them all here. And the cool thing is that Cloud can literally just go into all of these images, which is going to go to and view the image and understand what they are. So it's super cool. And it's actually going to do it in the protocols. I'm going to show you what exactly happens. And then you have the third one, which is the design instructions. If you have design instructions, you want a specific palette or fonts or typography or style for the funnels that it generates, then you can just add it in there as well in the context, which it's one of the documents that we have in right here, design instructions. Or you can just tell Claude to help you out and it's going to help you out and edit it for you. And so once we have the foundation ready, so those three documents, we execute what's called the start prompt, which is the main prompt that is going to tell Claude exactly what it's going to do throughout the whole project. And this is extremely important to lay it out specifically. And these two first parts are super important. The first one is to tell it to, after each major stage, you can update the progress document with everything that's happening currently, timestamp status, any blockers or notes. So we all always have a high level progress information that you can always reference to just in case it messes up, it forgets, or you try to deviate from somewhere else. You have your first source of truth that is always going to follow it, right? Then I give it also a notification tool through our NAN MCP server, a huge message tool, which is connected to my Slack. And this is like, I can just leave the freaking thing working and for hours. And if it needs me, it just message me literally. Hey, I need you to check this, or there's a check gate that needs your approval, right? So I just added that. You don't have to, but I like adding it. And then you have the important things, which is our protocols. So I broke it down into pieces, into phases, pretty much. You want to break it down into phases as much as possible so that it follows a specific thread of how you would create things. And this protocols just come down from how I would do it manually. So you just take whatever manual protocols you use. And I know sometimes we probably do them unconsciously and we don't really have the step-by-step in our heads, but you can always sit down and even just go to Claude chat and ask it to help you kind of flush out these protocols and then write them down in actual paper. So the first one is a marketing foundation. We need to create the foundation first. And from there, we create what's the protocol for the image generations for all the mockups. And then you have the third protocol, which is actual building the funnels and the emails, and then completion. So this is all of the instructions. Each of these protocols are extremely detailed as well. So if you see, I want to show you here, context documents. Oops, sorry. Execution protocols. So let's say the marketing foundation protocol. These are all extremely detailed on what he needs to do step by step. So the same thing. First, the success test criteria, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and everything exactly how it needs to be done. I'm going to show you an image of how it looks right now, but this is so that you see how detailed the stuff is. You have to very detail and put the process in there, okay? So let's go back in here. Now, once we go through the protocols, the first protocols that I use in here is 6-stage protocol that uses 6 different agents. Each of these are inside of Claude Code, so Claude Code can call them whenever we need to. And it's going to call them one by one in sequence. And inside of the protocol, I tell them what to do with each. And I just put it here so you know what they see and what they understand. And each of these are context information that the main Claude Code agent tells them. So it sends them the current audience, the offer idea, to the audience expert. So it validates our audience and gives us which one's going to be the best. Then that goes to our problem level expert, which takes the output from this one. And actually Claude pulls the output from it and then calls the second agent with only the specific information that he needs. To validate the problem, that this one's to the market research, that we actually tied this one up to an NAN workflow that uses a deep research LLM to pull the information. Then this one has a unique process agent, which checks the step-by-step process, makes sure that it's diluted, it's tight, and it's easy to understand. And we also give it the audience research doc, so it's all congruent, right? Then this guy comes in with the positioning expert, what we give it all our audience research, the problem level that we got from the other agent, the offer, and our unique process. And it's going to help us craft the right positioning for the offer. And then the last guy is going to be the offer expert, where we give it the past information, the audience research, the marketing positioning, and the unique process to help us either come up with the better offer if ours is not up to par, or give it better naming and taglines to them. And then after this, Claude Code, so the main agent, it's going to grab all that information. It's going to create our marketing foundational document, which is the last step of the protocol. And that's what's going to be used for a lot of things that come later to actually fill out the funnels and the copy and the emails and all that stuff. But this is the first part of it. Then the second protocol, what it does is checks the database, so the linked database that I show you with all the links of your images, it sees them, understand the images, and even put descriptions on them for you. So it always knows what they are, and it can use them later. That's why it can actually view the images once you put a URL. Then it's going to review the offer. We're going to see if we have any mockups in the images already, or if we need all of the mockups or just some of them. That's what the gap analysis does. Then it's going to decide, we're going to use the mockups that we have to create a whole bundle of them, or start from scratch and just create all of them from scratch. And this is connected to an NAN workflow that is connected to Nano Banana, which is Gemini's image generator, and also a background remover AI, which is Bree, I believe, which is Bree from replicate.com. This is the other one that we use. This is what we use to Bree background generator. Oops, background remover. Background remover, and it's not opening. Interesting. Remove background. So we use one of this one, Bree remove background. So we use this one as well. So that way it removes the background and crops the image for us. So it's ready to go. So it does that and then finalizes it with Bree that removes the background, and then it takes and updates the final images to HighLevel and pulls those links and updates the database with all of the final links to use in the funnels. All right, and then it just verifies it. So that's the image generation protocol. Then after that, it goes through the execution protocol for the funnel and email deployment. That's going to be very important. So now that it has the foundation document, now that it has all the images that we need, and now we can actually create the funnels or fill them out or edit them because we already have templates. And so it takes and reads again all of the documents, checks out that we have everything that we need, no placeholders, all the links, all the design information, technical, so that we're good to go. Otherwise, it's going to ask us to give it more information if it needs. But once that's ready, it goes and launches, go ahead, freaking launch 6 sub agents, and each of them is going to be in charge of one page at a time. So it's a lot faster than you going and editing one page and then waiting for that to finish and then go to the next one, right? It's going to use all of them in parallel and generate them in parallel or edit them in parallel. And it goes and through this iteration loop where it finishes them, and then it's going to ask those agents again, hey, double check your work and make sure it's good. So analyzes, modify, generate 3 headlines, verify against the checklist. We have an agent that's just in charge of headlines. That's why it says that. And so it goes through this loop until they're finished and it's happy with the result because we give it a checklist of what a finished result looks like and what it means. Once that's ready, it goes to phase 2, the mirroring phase, because we have the book a call only pages and the one-time offer only pages, which are basically a mirror from this one, from the main landing pages, right? And so it takes that context and launches again 5 more agents to work on each of these pages and create them individually. And goes through the same iteration loop to verify the page is good. If not, it launches them again, tells them to fix them, and so forth. So it's doing all of these without your help. So it's so freaking cool. And then you have the email phase. And so here again, it launches 5 email experts. So these are actual agents that have specific instructions to know how to write these emails and edit the emails. So it takes those emails and craft a plan, execute, and review everything. Pretty much the same thing as the funnel, is just doing it in the email templates. And then we have an integration, which is the MCP server that syncs the subject lines and the body copy with emails to our HighLevel in here, which we have all the templates in here already. So these templates, they're blank. So they're pretty much currently, they have nothing in it. And what the Claude Code agent does is once it creates all the templates, it just pushes them here and edits these templates because all of these are referenced in the automation workflows. So this way I don't really have to go into automations and create the automations themselves with the emails because they're already references from the templates. So if you go here, you have literally 30 templates. Email number 1, it's already referenced in a template. So you don't need to add them manually because they're already referenced in there. And you have literally, it creates 92 emails that just get updated in here. So that saves a ton of time. All right. And then the final phase is just, so the final configuration, we have update the URLs, front end, one-time offer, book a call. And HighLevel as custom values. So it also uses the API to update those and in all the emails pretty much. And that's all it does. Then it just creates a master checklist verification and generates you a completion document of everything it did, right? So that's the whole process of what it goes through and how it's set up. And now I'm going to walk you through the actual process with Claude Code. All right, so now we're going to start with the live flow. So after install Claude Code, you can go ahead and open it with inside of the folder that you want to work with. So this folder right here is the funnel I got built. It's got all of the information, all the context documents, the email templates, the execution protocols, funnel pages, so all the templates with the start prompt, just like I put in here. So it's the same base for any project you're going to build because it has the same stuff, right? The only thing that changes is going to be the context that you put in there. So the unified offer intake form that changes most of the time, right? And then the links database for all your images that you're going to use, the funnel URLs, and design instructions if you have any. So what we do is you just drag and drop. If you're using Mac, just type CD. We drag and drop the folder. Now we're inside the folder, and then we just type Claude. That's going to launch our Claude Code in there. So now it has access to inside of here. And then all I do is, since the start prompt has all the information, all I just tell it is execute the start prompt. And now it's going to read it, and it's going to continue everything that it says in there. So it's going to take a little bit of time. You'll see this little dot in here will change its colors. Look at what it's doing. It's checking everything. It found the start prompt.md, found it. Let me read the start script. So this is very similar as any of the actual Claude, any of the chats, honestly. It just looks different for sure, but it's the same thing. Like this, it's going to be your chat box in here. Hold on. Yes. It's going to ask you to use the tools. So you're just going to say yes. But this is pretty much the same. This chat box in here, you can type in there. You can drag images to it. You can drag files to it. In here, it's pretty much the same. Just doesn't look as pretty as this, but it's the same thing, honestly. So you can just read through everything it's doing, and it's just going to show you. And then see, so the first steps that I put in here, if you remember, it's going to get to create that progress file. So it's creating, see, create file, context documents, progress.md, and it's creating that tracker. So yes, that's going to execute it. You can put auto edits on if you press on Shift and Tab, and then it's going to just continue. You don't have to keep agreeing with everything it's going to do. All right. Unless there are specific tools that don't have the permissions, right? So here it is now, executing stage 1, right? So the audience selector to identify the top 3 highest converting audiences. So now it's starting to execute the first protocol. This is a marketing foundation protocol, you'll see. So it's going into the first guy right here, the audience expert. So every time you see this little label with colors, it means that it launched a parallel sub-agent. So as you see right here, that it has the ability to launch sub-agents in parallel. So it's in the background, basically, and executing what we need. So it's going to make it happen. We're going to have to give it a little more time. Let me just put back in here on what it's doing. So then when it finishes here, it's going to go to the problem level expert. But let's just give it a few minutes. And you'll see, finished, excellent, stage 1 complete. Let me update the progress and immediately execute step 2, problem selector. So I went ahead and changed this to update the progress document, which I created in here as I requested. It's right here, progress.md. You can always open it and check it out. But now it's going to executing stage 2, problem selector. So it's going to the problem level expert is in our agent. It's using now with the prompt. It already has its own system prompt, but it is calling it now with what the protocol says. All right, so it's stage 2 complete. Now executing stage 3, market research, async. It'll take about 15 minutes because I told it it'll take 15 minutes because it does take about 10, 12 minutes. And so it uses our NAN right here. So you'll see right now it's doing an audience deep research tool that we connected to this. And so let's go yes. Once it uses the NAN tools, any MCP tools, so that's using and pulling from another application and server, it typically asks you, right? So you see async research trigger, and give me the research ID that we pulled. Now to research takes 15 minutes to complete. Let me notify you and then wait to pull the report. Yes. So you see right here, when you see this like reds and greens, so you can see it's updating the progress.md, which is the file with all the tasks that it's supposed to do at a high level. And then when you see red, it's because it's deleting these lines, and the green ones, it's adding these lines to it. So it's basically waiting, notes, you remove this, and now it's going to know that it's waiting on the async research to finish. The research ID is this one, blah. All right. So yes. So you try to pull it right now. Research in progress. Now you see research still in progress. I'll wait and retry in a few minutes. So right now you went and used the sleep command for 180 seconds, and then it's going to keep retrying. So it timed out for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So right now it's just waiting, and it's going to wait. All right, the 3 minutes passed. Now it's going to asking me to pull the research, still in progress. Yeah, it takes about 10 minutes. So now it's still in progress. So it's going to say waiting another 5 minutes. So executed the sleep for 5 more minutes. So let's wait. All right, so seems like we got it. It pulled. Market research complete. Excellent data has 50 plus 0 quotes. Now continuing with stage 4. Unique process identifier. Bam. So now it's updating the progress file every step of the way. Wait for that to happen. Now executing stage 4, unique process identifier. So it's doing this one right here, and it's pulling from the context here, the unique offer intake form. This is an intake form that the client filled out with all the information. So now you see it's using this expert. So this is our agent, unique process expert. All right, so it's going through it, giving it all the context that it needs, step-by-step process, and the audience research doc. All right, now finished. You see it says done. Stage 4 is completed. Now executing stage 5, positioning expert. So now it's going to cascade and give this guy all the information it needs to perform the positioning. It's going to update the progress. Now you'll see you launch the other agent with the information needed. So it's running in the back now. Let's give it some time to finish. All right, now finished. Powerful positioning complete. Now executing stage 6. Now it's going to this one, offer expert. Let's wait for the agent to finish. All right, so now I finished. All marketing foundation stages complete. Now presenting stage 7, executive summary for your approval. So now it's going to take all the information. You're going to approve it so you can create the actual document. If you want to make any changes, it's going to send you executive summaries. You can always ask it to. So here it's just asking me to use a tool, which is sending me a message to my Slack. All right. You can just put in the settings to always accept those tools so you don't have to manually approve them. But all right, so now it's presenting executive summary for approval. And then for time's sake, I'm not going to fully review the whole thing, but I'm just going to approve it so we can move on to the next stage. But if anything needed, you can always ask. Just like your agent, just like your employee, if it didn't do 100% of the job correctly as you wanted it, you can ask it to rerun any specific steps or do slight tweaks. Doesn't matter. Just like anything, give it some time. Right, here it is. So we can go all the way up in here, right? Marketing foundation, executive summary, put me the name, target audience, step 3, bam. All right, give me all the information. Let's just say this is good, so approved. Reply approved to proceed with finalizing documents or provide feedback for revisions. It's gonna say approve. So now it's updating the progress again. You'll see every single step is updated progress, so it's never gonna lose track of what it's doing. Then we'll see, we're gonna move on to the next protocol, which is the image generation protocol. So let's wait for it to finish the document and then to move on to the next protocol step. You'll see it's updating the marketing foundation and the offer document from the context files. Those were empty, so now it's putting all the information in there. Right, so now protocol 1 finished, marketing foundation complete, offer document, front end, commercial contract and installation kit. For 2, strategic bonuses, done. Kate, protocol 2. And now we got to protocol 2, requires approval. Now to finish, so reply approved, and we can continue. All right, that's cool. So now it updated those documents. If you check the document here, you'll see that it added the marketing foundation and the offer document. You can open this. So it added the whole thing in here. Boom, marketing foundation, the whole offer document as well. Close this and keep going. Now we're going to the image generation protocol, read existing mockups to understand the current design style, doing the auditing, opening the images up. All right, so now it's executing step 3 and generate prototype mockups. I'll use the image craft expert agent to create the full bundle prompt. Use the existing book covers as references. Since I already had this too. Let it allow it to finish. Now it's using the tool to generate the image. I'm gonna say yes, make it happen. All right, so I generated bundle, you see right here. So it generated the book covers from those book images, mockups and the 500 asset commercial toolkit with this thing. Very cool. So now it's going to ask me. Let me open that. So now it's going to say one bonuses. Bam. Book maintains the dark vault aesthetic. So please review and reply. Approved to proceed or feedback. Let's go approved. That's what we got. That's going to go ahead and generate the two bundles. So let's give it some time. It's going to generate more images now. All right. So now we got the OTO one. Both OTO bundles generated. Let me view them for approval. You'll see right here. Let's get a little time. Let's come back in conversation. All right. And then if you can see here, we got the OTO2 mockups. So freaking cool, man. Look, it kept it like the logo and everything on all of them. So nice. So we got LTO1, 2, excellent. The LTO2 bundle mockup looks great. Let me also view the one, present both to you, blah, myself. Let's give it some time. All right, so now we got both of them. And let's say I like them. If you don't like them, you just can give them feedback and describe what you want to change. But if not, then just type approved. You see, both bundles maintain the consistent government secrets branding. Done. So now generated the mockups. Now it's going to go proceeding to stage 3, extract individual product from all 3 approved bundles. So it's going to extract the products so we can actually use one by one as well on the pages. Let's say yes, use the tool to remove the background and pull each individual product. All right, so now you see all 13 individual products extracted successfully. Now updating the link database with all the new images, URLs. So now it's going in here to our context document, and then the link database is updating it with all the mockups it generated, the full bundles and the individual products, so we can use them on the websites later. You'll see right here with what they are, description, name, and then the URL, so you can use it later. All right, so now links database updated. Now updating progress.md to complete protocol 2, which was the full image generation protocol. All right, so now it's proceeding with protocol 3, funnels and emails. It's going to read the execution protocol. All right, going here. It's going to be a fun one here. Read through all the files. All right, so we read all the context. Now let me read through the marketing foundation document for the messaging framework, then begin phase 1 by deploying the sub-agents for each of the main funnels. So it's going here. So you can edit and create the front-end landing page, pop-up checkout, one-time offer, one-time one, thank you, privacy policy, all those. And you'll see deploying 6 front-end specialist sub-agents in parallel for phase 1 main funnel pages. So it's going to pull them out here. Main 1, main 2, main 3, main 4, main 5, initializing them, main 6, right? So now you're going to town. Look at that. So now each of them has its own landing page that they're working on at the same time. All right, so all 6 main funnel pages completed. Let me update the progress and compile headline variations. All right, so let's finish all the 6 main pages. Let's give it a few more seconds. Now it's going to deploy 5 front-end specialist sub-agents for phase 2, secondary funnel pages. Right here. Now it's mirroring the main pages into the standalone pages. And you'll see it launched over here. Secondary 1, secondary 2, secondary 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 sub-agents working in parallel now, fixing, editing those pages with all the information needed and design. If you see, it's using read right now. So reading each page. This one's reading design instructions as we speak. This one too. So we'll go through the cycle of all the context as explained in the protocol. All right. So now it's going phase 2 complete. All 5 secondary funnel pages updated. So this part was done. Now it's going to proceed into phase 3, email templates. Let me update the progress and deploy the email specialist agents. So now it's going to do that. Just this part. We'll do it again. So 5 separate sub-agents. So each of them is going to work on the different templates. The email templates that we have, you'll see, lead to purchase to book a call, purchase to one-time offer, and purchase welcome email. So there are 30 templates on each of this first 3. So 30, 60, 90 templates, and then 1 email for the welcome when they purchase one-time offer, 1 email for the welcome when they purchase the front end. And it's updating all the templates. These are similar styles of fill in the blank templates that we already have as a base, the funnels themselves. So it has some base, a good base to work with. And then it's just going to use it as context pretty much with all the information from the offer, the marketing foundations, everything, and fill them out and fix them up for you. All right, now I've finished. You'll see 5 agents done, phase 3 completed, all 5 email templates, sets modifies with 92 total subject lines. So 92 emails as well. Now proceeding to phase 4, which is final configuration and compilation. Phase 4 requires updating the custom values for funnel URLs. Let me get the custom values IDs first. So it's going to do that now, just this part. And yes, update the tools. It's asking me permission to update the tool. All right. So now it's creating the completion document and updating progress. All right, so finished. We got total deliverables, marketing documents 2, image assets 16 of them, 3 bundles, 13 products, 11 HTML pages, 92 email templates, 3 custom values. The only thing needed here would be if you open the document again. Where did it go? Actually, it's here. Let me open back up. Here's the document. If you open up the email templates, you'll see, so for example, it's on 1 through 30. Ideally, you want to check them out, make sure they're good. Here's day 1, subject lines. You see it uses the variables and everything in there. So it's good to, and then you have the landing page URL as well, which is a variable in HighLevel. And so all of this information is here. Ideally, if you want to check them out and make sure they're good. Otherwise, if everything is good, the last step is just asking it to push all those email templates. So push the email templates and subject lines using the NANCP server, the update email tool, and subject line tool. So for this, it's going to take all those templates and push them to HighLevel for you, because in HighLevel, there is all of the templates here in marketing emails, and then they're here on their campaigns, on their templates, sorry. So each of them has all 30 templates for each of them. So they're pretty much empty. And then what it's doing now is it's going to go and take each of them and it's going to just push them out one by one. You'll see. Yes. Fetch the templates and push them all. So then once it pushes them, we have an automation where all the automations have the templates, right? So each of these have all the templates referenced for 30 days. So that way, this is all set with the custom value of the name of the person, location, the subject line, and then the email here that gets going to get updated. Oh, after that, while this is working, we can take a look at the funnels that it generated. And we go here in the sites. Let's say the front end landing. All you got to do is open that and go here. Let's go on the funnel pages. Let's look at the main pages. I can open these. See? So this is the $57. It's the one-time offer. Then you got here, new system. Bam. Just missing the logo. I didn't update a logo. So we need a logo in here. All right. So here it updated all the information. It added the image there. Testimonial images we had. Here, we need to add another image. So here we can create a process image and add it in there. So we can just add that. Here's this. Here's each of them. Everything you're going to get. Fast action bonuses. Bam. Only $57 today. Great. If you want to put a 57 or lower the price, whatever. Put the profile photo of the person. All right. All the copy, all the templates, testimonials that we got in there were already. Everything just $57. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so I finished everything. And so this will open the pop-up on the HighLevel, right? And so you can take a look at this whole thing. If whatever is missing, you can keep adding to it. You got a little information there. Here, you can just add that. You can tell the AI agent, hey, in the main page, just missing, add a photo in here under the commercial contract blueprint text, under this text. And just going to keep adding to it. So you can just keep asking it to update it. So that's what we want to check them all to make sure. This one is the OTO. Before you go, get the installation system for just $97. Here it is, all the information. And here it is. You got the blueprints, now you got the power tools. Bam. All right. So this was the one-time offer. This is the down sale offer. And then you got here privacy policy with all the updated information, with the contact info and the company info. And then here is the thank you page. What happens next? Quick note from Xavier, blah, blah. So you see, it's not 100%, it's 95% done. So what you want to do is you want to go through the pages and check, see if you want to add something else in here, something extra. Maybe remove this photo in here or tell it to add the profile photo back in here again. But pretty much most of it, it's already done. So for example, how do we update this stuff so that, let's go back in here into the, let's say the thank you page, and let's tell it here. Right now, it's working on this, but you can always open up another one of those, but it's doing a lot of tool calls right now. So I'm going to allow it to finish first to update up all the emails into HighLevel. So let's give that a little wait time. All right, so now I finished. All email templates push successfully. Let me mark it, now it's finished. So I'll use the Go HighLevel API to push and update the existing templates. And you'll see here, if you open one of these, it's going to have the information in here. You'll see, with custom values and everything for the links and all that. So they're all pretty much done. 92 of them already updated. And so now the only thing that changes here And next steps that I do, which I'm not going to take you through right now because this video is already long enough. And it's basically, since the first pass is you're not going to get 100% of these done exactly how you want it. What I do is I go through another one last, the pretty much revision protocol. So I wanted to check every single landing page against our original template. So you can check if it's missing anything, any copy, any images that still need to be changed. So you can ask me and I can provide them, any of those stuff. And so that's going to take another probably 30 minutes, but you'll see we're already up an hour and 27 minutes. So this whole first, creating this whole assets, an hour and 27 minutes, which is not much. If you think about it, for literally everything that we created, all the assets that we've done. Look, 2 marketing documents, 16 image assets, 11 landing pages or funnel pages, 5 mail template sets, which 92 emails, 3 custom values configured for the landing page URLs, which are these guys right here for all the emails. So this is a ton of assets that we created in an hour and 27 minutes, which I stayed here for it, but it was just literally working by itself. I like no hands. So I could have just left it alone and work on something else, or could have left and come back when it finished. So it really doesn't take that much of your own time for this. Then afterwards, for the validation, again, it's just one prompt that you tell it to, hey, double check all of the websites to make sure that we're not missing anything, that we have all the copy included from and compared from our base templates, right, that we already have. So that type of stuff is the next step, which also it's going to take 20 minutes on its own to do its thing and double check. And that's it. Then the last step, after you've double checked everything is good, it's just opening these. I like to open them in Cursor. I downloaded this app to view the codes. You can literally just copy the code, paste it in the site right here, front end landing page. Just gonna make sure you remove all of the padding on the containers. I just paste the code here, save it, and that's it. So you can access it. Here it is. Thank you. So let's say if I want to edit this, a lot of people say that it's really hard to edit stuff when you use custom coded websites and all that. It's not really hard because let's see, I have open here front-end landing checkout pop-up text. So let's say the front-end landing checkout pop-up text, I can just ask Claude, hey, let's edit the landing page pop-up text.html, or you can just drag and drop it here, honestly. Let's open it. And you can just tell it what to do. Just tell it, hey, change the headline to this. Or you can literally just take a photo, drag the photo in here, and tell it, change that headline to something else. I'm not going to write the whole thing, but you can just tell it what headline or revise it or whatever. So let's change it. And then it's just going to edit that part. It's not going to regenerate the whole thing. So it's very good. So it's going to say, which headline would you like to use? Variation 2, variation 3, or a custom headline? All right, let's go with variation 3. Because if you remember, at the beginning, I told them to create a lot of headline variations. So it's going to go check the file, found the file, read the file for you, and just edit that. And you can just open this locally to just see what it's doing. You see, you already limited that it changes. So this is going to change. I can refresh the page and it changes it. So I can see live what happened. I can just keep telling it to change stuff and I can see it live change. And then once it's ready, when I'm ready to just change it, I can go ahead, go back up, open this in Cursor, copy the whole thing, and then paste it in the HTML. So you can just change it and just swap out for the new HTML, save it, and that's it. I get the new headline. See, everything you need. So it's pretty simple actually to use this stuff. And in here, you don't really need much. You can just open them and change them, tell Claude to change it for you, and then just copy the whole code and swap the whole code in HighLevel. It doesn't really take that long. It took me, I don't know, 30 seconds. Like, how often do you change stuff in it? So it doesn't really have to regenerate the whole thing. Just edit the file and that's it. So it makes it super easy to make changes, do anything, right? This was an hour and 31 minutes. And that way you have literally over 100 assets already generated for you. So this is the whole process. Any questions, you always let me know. But that's pretty much done. Thank you.